Welcome to the Don Vic Show.
How's it going, everybody? This is Don Vic, and this is Koke, and welcome to the Don Vic Show. How you doing today, man?
Amazing. How are you?
Pretty good. I can't complain. I woke up, was able to get out of bed, and was just able to continue with my day, just trying to be better than yesterday.
Yes. My day has been kind of wild all morning.
Why is that?
Well, so when you have a past like mine, building and learning to adult again is tough
Right.
sometimes. So I messed up on one of my payment plans that I was on.
Oh.
So my gas has been off since Saturday.
Oh.
Trying to fix this, getting all the paperwork fixed.
Right.
And the paperwork's fixed, but a technician can't come out till Monday. So everything's paid and fixed, but I still have no gas, no hot shower, no cooking. And you don't realize how important that little stuff is to your daily routine till you don't have it.
Oh yeah.
And I can't be mad about it. It's my own past that put me in
Right.
having to be on plans, and then
Right.
I missed it.
Right.
So yeah, it's gonna get turned on, but like still positive. It's been in the morning
It
though.
could be worse.
Yes.
One thing I always tell people, like, it could be worse. Like, I get it. Like, it's a bump on the road, but it's better to be just having a bump on the road than having a roadblock to the point where it stops you from actually living life.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? Because I've been incarcerated, I know ways to get around things.
Right.
Like microwaving all my water to take my quick shower, and things like that. So
Okay. Okay.
keeping it bright side, you know.
Right, most definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, you still have a roof over your head.
Yes. And I
And
actually said that in my video this morning. I had to do self talks, and I
Right.
was talking about that.
Right.
And as I was getting upset, I was like, "You got a roof over your head, Kobe.
you have a car.
You have a DoorDash
Yeah.
job. You have all of these things." I ate this morning.
You're able to wake up next to your significant other. You're able, in your case, you're able to see and spend time with your favorite children. Your favorite child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's like, I mean, people always think about like, if they don't receive the biggest blessing, they're not having a good day. It's like it's not about receiving the biggest blessing. It's just about just waking up, breathing, going to work. If you don't want to go to work, you're able to call in. You're able to go for a walk without issue. Like it's people take things for granted in this place.
Appreciated it. Like I didn't, and I was one of those people for all of it. My recovery, my weight loss, all of those things. I didn't appreciate life. Not even appreciate the people around me, but life itself.
Right.
The fact that I'm walking out and I see the sun hit a flower. I never stopped to take that picture. I do now. Because that could be my last picture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you said it. It could all be worse. And I've been working to figure out how to get that without somebody or myself having to go through such pain.
Right.
Or something to where it's really a struggle, or you go through something tough to be able to look to view things that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Finding that without almost losing everything.
And what helps you view those type of things?
The positivity.
Yep.
Well, I think a lot of it is because I almost wasn't here.
Right.
And so, or hearing others. Actually, you know something? It's because I talk to everybody in the community and I hear other people's struggles. I hear other people's triumphs. But to hear people that are struggling right now, when I think my struggle is so big.
Right.
I'm not sitting in a hospital bed. I don't have a cast on my foot. I'm not walking down the street carrying a book bag because I don't know where I'm going.
Right.
I have a house over my head. I remember those things and I feel them. You can see the chills on
Oh
my
yeah,
arms.
I see them.
I appreciate life. And even when I get down on myself or like, why is this happening to me? I start to check myself, and that's those self-talks. It's
Right.
understanding. It's having empathy for me too. It's not just, having empathy for people I come across, but knowing, man, you're gonna stumble. What are you gonna do now? That's usually my thing. What am I gonna do now?
Right.
I'm not gonna lay down. I'm gonna figure this out. And it's those self-talks and connecting with the community and hearing inspiration if I listen.
Yeah. Can you tell us like who you are and your like some sort of a backstory?
Yep. My name is Koke. I'm 48 years old. I'm in recovery long term, almost 4 years. I lost 100 pounds, found a love for people in life along the way, and now I have a purpose to spread positivity. The I don't even know where it comes from. I've basically I've been in
From your
addiction.
heart.
Oh yeah, I've struggled with addiction almost my entire life and coasted.
Right.
I wasn't living, and I had an awakening. People
Right.
talk about those awakenings all the time. It's like I went from disconnected to the world to I'm talking about connected.
Right.
Like when I see people, you'll see me light up. You'll feel it, I'm
Right.
sure, while I'm here. I just woke up with a love for life and people. I don't know how to explain it. It's hard for me, a person of words, to put that
Right.
into words. Yeah, and I want to share it with the world. I've had my past struggles, been to prison. Yeah, drugs and alcohol was a tough one. Had my trauma in the past, and here I am now spreading positivity. It's kind of how I met you. I don't know how long we have. How far you want to dive.
All right, we can dive. We can dive as deep as the Titanic if you like.
Like-
What do you do for a living?
A lot of stuff. I DoorDash. That's one of the things that I started doing in the beginning of my recovery during COVID. Actually,
Mhm.
I started door dashing because they were letting anybody door
Right,
dash. Because
anybody.
I have a background
Oh, okay.
from my past, and I somehow got in to do it because I've talked to a lot of people that haven't.
Right.
So I door dash, and along the way with door dashing,
Mhm.
everybody has those Ring cameras.
Yeah.
So I started leaving freestyles and affirmations on them for
Okay.
people. Like I'll set the food down, act like I'm gonna walk away, turn around, be like, "Oh, I almost forgot. You're an amazing person. Remember that." And a week go by, 2 weeks go by, all of a sudden I get a tip on my DoorDash account.
Right.
Because that person must have seen that video or needed that smile.
Right.
And so that started connecting with me. I'm like, wait
Mhm.
a second. I don't even have to see them. I can just leave a smile right on here. And I started doing that. So that's kind of where the DoorDash came from. Because I was a waiter almost my entire life. Server, bartender, restaurants. I also public speak.
Okay.
I just spoke to some teachers a couple weeks ago. That was
Where was that?
in Plymouth at Generations. It's a
I'm not too
facility.
familiar with that.
It's a facility for just all ages. Actually,
Okay.
They do daycare. There's teachers there. And
Right.
they cultivate smiles. That's what I said.
Okay.
And I spoke to them, and that was the first time going back an hour and telling my story.
Mhm.
And I had people come up to me after and with tears in their eyes and thank me for. They said it was like I was telling their story. It lit a fire in me.
Right.
Like I never crossed those waters yet.
Right.
I had told my backstory about 20 minutes.
But no one could relate.
Basically, my recovery.
Right.
But as you go back further into, I'm almost 48, so there was a lot of people that were similar to my age
Right.
there, and they started to relate to that, and it was amazing. Like I'll say it a lot. I don't know I don't even realize how to process a lot of the stuff that I go through now because I told you I just started being an adult.
Right.
At
Right.
45, really. And I do public speaking. I'm a content creator. I do positivity promotion videos for different businesses. I have businesses that bring me in to eat dinner and make videos to promote their food,
Right.
to promote their business, their
Okay.
ambiance. Pretty much, anything I train people, also fitness.
When there's a will, there's a way.
It it's actually funny that you say that. So I had to work through my social anxiety and anxiety to be able to do that. And I've had people when I'm at Planet Fitness, actually, I won't put any names on anything. I've had one person, a gentleman,
Mhm.
put a note beside me. I didn't notice it at first.
Right.
And I picked the note up and I opened it up and it said, please don't ever stop doing what you're doing because there's some of us that can't.
Right.
That stay in our shell and you show me it's okay. So please don't quit. And that hit me hard. That was
Right.
early on too.
Right.
And then I had another lady that gave me a book. I still have it at my house that said positivity, why you're so positive, or you deserve to be positive. I can't remember exactly. But she gave that to me and she told me the reason that she's at the gym that day is because of me. I don't even know. Like I had enough just people coming up to me. I've never done this before.
Right.
So hearing somebody say that or say I started a business because of you and I've never quit and looked back.
Right.
It's mind blowing to me. It's the deep. That's why I'm sober, actually.
Right.
It's the most fulfilling feeling. It's better than any drug I've ever taken. That when somebody finds their smile, or somebody has that inspiration, or they were going to do this, they're
Right.
hungry for life again.
Okay. And is this you being Mr. Positivity? Is this always who you were?
Not on the outside.
No.
Yep. I thought that I had to be intoxicated to be a part of everything.
Right.
To rap in front of people, to sing, to be goofy, because I was so scared of what people thought of me.
So more of a people pleasing.
Insecurity, yes. I thought I was worthless. I was ashamed of who I was. I'm not anymore, and that's why I'm able to do this. I was positive, and people tell me, "We saw you smiled," but it wasn't real. I was smiling because I was
showing you what I want you to see.
No, it wasn't all the way through. Now,
Right.
Anybody that knows me, even my significant other, I have to leave the room because I'm a lot. I'm like this always.
Right.
It doesn't stop.
Right.
When I leave, when I'm not in front of the camera, I'm still like this.
Right.
And I wasn't before. I was happy. I was living.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't living, absorbing, being a part of life,
Right.
feeling it as it
Right.
happened, good or bad. There's always times that I look as opportunity to learn.
Right.
Whether if I'm struggling, why
Mhm.
am I struggling? What can I do to do better? How did I put myself here? Instead of poor me, I'm not doing this no more. Because I used to be that person. I used to throw in the towel and give up. Never invested in me, which meant I couldn't invest in we. And I say it all the time. I had to love me to love we, because it starts here.
Right.
And that's why I'm able to do all those things, like be goofy and have fun and march to the beat of my own drum, because I love my own drum.
Right.
I love who I am.
I like the way you said that. Me, at one point in my life, I was just like sort of the same way. I was always people pleasing. I was always like, don't be yourself, be someone else so people can like you, this and that, And growing up, coming where I came from, that really made my life, And then once it came to high school, that's when I really came to realization. It doesn't matter what people think of you, what they say about you. At the end of the day, once you graduate high school, they're not gonna be in your life. It's not, you're not living your life for them. You're living your life for you. So why are you doing what other people want to see, but you're not doing what you want to see, what you want to do for yourself? Like I said before, they're not living your life. So why not do an accomplishment that that it's gonna help you in the long run? And people always struggle to see the bigger picture. They're always their biggest doubter instead of their being their biggest supporter.
That tunnel vision.
That tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about your weight loss journey?
Weight loss journey. Oh, so I can just give you the quick one. So I struggled with my weight all my life.
Could you tell us a little bit about your weight loss journey?
So with my weight loss journey, 7 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I was dropping my buddy off in Watertown.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just my weight loss, or this isn't only my weight loss journey, it's my recovery also.
Right.
So I was in Watertown dropping my buddy off, Tarim. He's an MC that actually inspires me a lot. And I started feeling weak.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't look good, apparently. And he's like, you need to go to the ER. Go to the doctor. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to go. So he finally talked me into it. So I go to the ER. I had COVID, had pneumonia in my left lung. They ran some scans on me. Comes back. Doctor walks in. He's like, Koke, I'm going to be honest with you. You're 45 years old. You're 345 pounds, pre-diabetic, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. I just found aneurysms in both your legs. He said, do you want to live? And up until then, prison didn't wake me up. My daughter's being born didn't wake me up. When he asked me that, it clicked. I walked out of there, started being positive no matter what. Started walking laps around my house, curling my book bag. I cut fast food out. I haven't eaten it for almost 4 years. I haven't eaten red meat or pork either. I love sweets though.
Yeah.
I love the sweets, but along the way, I started loving people in life. I moved into town here, started at Planet Fitness.
Right.
I was at about 295 pounds when I moved into town here, and just kept working out. Ended up finding another aneurysm in my stomach when they went to fix my two in my legs.
Oh Lord.
So, but I have stents all over the place now.
Right.
And when I started my weight loss journey, I worked out 6 days a week. I would do an hour of elliptical, then I'd do a body part, and then I'd do 20 minutes of the elliptical in the morning, I would eat oatmeal, Kodiak cakes, lots of it. They were my sponsor.
I heard those are really good.
Kodiak cake, oatmeal and waffles.
Mm-hmm.
And then lunch, ground turkey breast, Jenny-O with rice or Brussels sprouts or some type of veggie. And then dinner, same thing, salmon or something with rice and veggies. And I've stuck with it pretty much this whole time. And I still work out 5 days a week. I don't do as much cardio.
Right.
But yeah, and it's I find fun ways to work out. You see me at the gym.
For sure.
Making videos.
Yeah, because like there's days where some people just feel unmotivated, and one thing I always tell people, it's not about having motivation, it's about having discipline. Like just because you have one bump on the road does not mean your whole road is going to be full of bumps.
Ooh, it almost happened to me today. Can't get no water.
Exactly. But besides your doctor telling you if you wanted to live, what pushed you to start your sober journey?
That's where it started.
That's where it started?
That's when my recovery started.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I stopped doing opiates 7 years ago, but I was still doing everything else.
Right.
Until I got to that doctor about 4 years ago now. That's when he asked me. Yeah, I was still using all of the other drugs. I actually had a seizure while I was doing it. I was almost yellow. Like if I look back at some of the pictures.
Right.
Yeah. There's a good chance I was on my way out.
And for the people who don't know, because like I know what when a person looks yellow, that I know what that means. But like for the people who don't know, what's that term when like you look yellow?
My liver wasn't doing what it's supposed to do. I was flooding it with too many toxins, and it couldn't
anymore.
Filter it no more. So I was starting to get sick, and I didn't even realize it. Do you know? The week prior to that doctor's appointment, heavy amounts of drugs. I was drinking, just not opiates.
Right.
But I was doing everything else.
Right.
And I didn't realize how close to being gone I was. Like, I'm doing these things, got aneurysms in my body and don't know it. And, like, it just... Yeah, that happening, like, knowing that I was running around with aneurysms in my body, still trying to just put myself in the ground, that's another one that pops in my head a lot, is caring about myself.
Right.
Like, now with the sober part, my journey kind of just started at that hospital.
Right.
Not just there, but it started there. And what came to happen is the loving me is key to all of this, because I don't put those things in my body because I love myself too much. I've worked too hard to be happy.
Right.
And throw it away for what?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how important is that high to me?
That's one thing I not with the drug part, but like I always hear this one story when this one person tells another person, would you take $1 million if I gave you $1 million? And the person says, yes, of course. And he tells him the only catch is you don't wake up tomorrow. And the person tells him, well, no, I don't want that $1 million. The moral of the story is it shows that $1 million is not worth your life. Your life is worth more than $1 million. You just gotta look at a different way and a different perspective on how to enjoy life now. And that's a great way. I mean,
that $1 million doesn't make this smile. I do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I actually argued with somebody. Not argued with them.
Dispute.
They were trying to talk me into understanding how money makes happiness. And I was like, you're really talking to the wrong person for this one.
I don't like money solves most problems, but that's financial problems. That's financial problems, Yep. But after that, once you pay your financials, what's next? What are you gonna do?
No matter if I have money, no matter if I'm sitting in a tank with 50 sharks,
right?
I can still smile. I can still be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
But it's still my choice.
Right.
That money, if I had a choice of $1 million in my sobriety immediately, if I take that $1 million and I'm not sober, I might as well just kill myself.
I mean, $1 million and you're doing drugs as you're asking for a death wish, like, have you ever seen In Time?
Yes.
You know how? Yeah.
I love that movie.
So you know how Justin Timberlake
yes.
got given all that time, and he gave his friend, because I was his right hand man. Why not? He gave him all that time, and what did that guy do? He died. He overdrank. He drank too much, and he passed away with how much time on this time?
Yep.
So it just shows you, like, just because you have it doesn't mean you have to go do it.
It's all them tests that life gives us.
Exactly.
It's them tests.
So during your weight loss journey and your sobriety journey, is there any issues that you came along the way?
As far as using,
Mm-hmm.
no.
No?
Uh, for that, so in the past, I've been to prison, as I said, and I've been in AA, NA, I've been to boot camp, I've been in AODA, I've been in halfway houses, I've been in all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the emphasis on relapse
Right.
was so much. That's all I ever thought about when I was in these programs.
Mm-hmm.
If I hang out with him, I'm going to use. If I don't do this, I'm going to use. If I date her, I'm going to use. If I do this, I'm going to use. If I don't have urges to use, I'm doing it wrong. Wait a second. How does any of that help?
Right.
So now what's changed is I'm living. I don't have time to use. So this time in my recovery, I haven't wanted to use not once.
Not once.
Not once. Never. And I can say never have I went in this entire thing been upset, been struggling. Did I ever say I'm going to get drunk? Did I ever say I'm using? Because what's that going to do to me? It's going to kill me is what it's going to do. And it's not going to help anything I'm working on, except for just like this. That's how long it might help.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's temporary fun. It's not permanent fun, you know. Coping with your actual situations and actually finding a solution with it sober way, it's much better than just coping with it just when they sugarcoat their problems, you know. Like they just
Sugarcoat.
Yeah, you know, like they just coast over them. Yeah, I'm figuring out my issues. I'm just gonna drink my problems away. But what are you doing? You're just forgetting the moment. You know, you're not facing it. You're running away from it.
It's still right there.
Yeah, it's still there.
You're just not looking at it.
Yeah, you know, like, yeah, you're gonna wake up tomorrow not thinking about it, but what you're gonna think about? Your pain and suffering from the night before. You know. So
no, it's probably going back to because you asked what problems I had. The biggest through all of this is the mental, is believing in myself when other people don't, giving myself credit when other people don't, giving myself credit when I expect other people to do and they don't, and realizing I can't control that, anxious to do these new things.
Right.
All of this is unknown. In the past, I'd have quit already. If money was the reason I was doing this, I'd have quit already. If you know what I mean, there's so many things, and that's been the biggest part of this is staying true to me, loving myself no matter what.
See,
that's been the biggest struggle, not the using.
I mean,
that would have came if I slipped on my mental.
Right. And it just shows that you actually have a strong mindset. You know, like I'm not saying everybody else has a weak mindset. No, it's just they're just giving into the problem right away. Instead
I work at it. That's all that is.
Right.
I'm willing to put the work into myself.
Right. Because I mean, if you don't put the work in, then what are you really doing?
I don't know. I couldn't figure that out for a long time in my life, and then finally I started putting the work in.
I mean, whether it took you weeks, days, months, years, you found it. You know, you found a solution. You know, like maybe you're not where you want to be right now at full commitment, but like you're 10,000 steps ahead from what you were before.
I'm way further actually than I think, because people tell me all the time, like, to look at the steps you're taking. I forget to do that because all I see is everybody smiling.
Exactly. Like besides that, did you really have any moments where you just like, one hit won't hurt, one drink won't hurt, you know, like nothing like that? No. My point was saying
quitting.
Was quitting.
It wasn't. So if what my struggle, when I start to struggle, it's not so I don't drink, it's so I don't quit. That's what my struggle is. Gets too tough, I quit. They don't care, I quit. I don't know what I'm doing, I quit.
Right.
That's always been my MO in the past. It's not, I'm going to go get drunk. I'd be quitting, actually.
Right.
That's what that is. And that's really what I've struggled with, is stopping, making this easier on me. I could go work in a factory, and in 6 months I'd be financially stable and not have to worry about it. I'd still have to work all the time, but I'd be miserable.
Right.
So
you're not enjoying your time.
Exactly. The mental part of it. Because what happens when for me, if I start to get miserable and continue to stay in my head, working in that factory is what's going to happen. Yes, I'm not going to worry about my gas being turned off. But everything else is falling apart because of it. Because I'm not happy. Because I don't love life right now.
You're close by. You're in between four walls.
Yes, exactly. And that's what the struggle has been for me. It's this.
Right. Being trapped.
Yeah, it's my brain, it's my mind, being able to cope with life, to interact with people, to have negativity come at me, and not compound it.
Right.
Because the only way I can stop negativity, even if I'm shutting up, is to shut up. And that has been my biggest struggle, is the mental stuff of all this, of staying inspired, staying creative, even when negativity's thrown at me daily. I go to war to help people smile.
Right.
I get called everything you can think of, and probably worse. Not because of anything I actually do for me.
Right.
Well, help people smile helps me too.
Oh, for sure.
But it's because I put myself out there with the nails, the socks, and the hair. That's why I get made fun of.
And that, I mean, one thing I always tell people, all publicity is good publicity. You know, like, regardless if they're talking bad about you, they're taking time of their day to go check you out.
It's hard to see that when it's going on.
You know, and like they could easily scroll past your post. They could easily click past your story, or just go past your live, or whatever the situation is. But they're choosing to react to it, whether it's good or bad. They're choosing to stop what they're doing and be like, they're literally thinking and looking at the screen like, what is the guy doing? But what are you doing? You're literally spending this too much time just looking at someone trying to judge them for what they're trying to do.
Do you know what's funny? So recently, Steph and I, my significant other, did a video where we were dancing and enjoying life. Somebody posts on there, you two need to go use fentanyl. And I thought about that. Yes. And we're dancing in front of the lake. Like, you probably saw the video.
I did.
And I thought about it for a second, and I said, initially I was upset at first. Like, my first thought was to be upset. And then I thought about it a little more. And then what I ended up putting on there is like, thank you for the feedback. I'm an addict in long-term recovery. And actually, opiates tried to kill me. And I work every day to be happy and help other people smile. And then it stopped. So about 3 hours after that, that person, not from the account they used, from their real account, messaged me and said, I am so sorry. I didn't know you went through that. I got bored and posted the comment because I thought it would be funny. And what I told that person is, so had I gotten mad, I wouldn't have got this opportunity right here. By being bored, you could have just killed somebody. Because I'm strong in my recovery, it didn't affect me.
Right.
But somebody that's not,
right.
You might have just killed them.
Yeah, I mean, one word to someone could be strong as a bullet.
Yes.
Some people don't have the strong mindset than others. You know, I'm not saying people are weak-minded, you know, like, oh, you're not going to move forward in life just because you can't think past all that. But, I mean, we all have bad moments. You know, we don't have a bad life. We choose to create more bad moments. So with the same amount that mentality capacity that we always say, like, oh, we're so negative, but why can't we just be positive about it on purpose? You know, like, we always try to use positive words to others, but they always use negative ones. You know, like, what's the purpose of that? Like, what do you get out of that? You know, like, people reacting to your bad words gets a kick out of them. You not reacting bothers them.
I know. It does,
you know, like,
actually. I know that.
You know, and it just shows.
Kindness upsets people when they're doing that.
What made you so positive?
It's the appreciation.
Appreciation of life?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm grateful for there's been so many people in my life that have tried, I'll start right up again, that have tried to help me.
Right.
And I never was thankful for that or grateful. I took it for granted. And now it's like the universe makes me remember all of those people that were trying to help me.
Right.
Because their words pop up when I'm struggling now. And whether it's to deserve my second chance, or to say thank you to everybody, or to apologize to the world that I was dimming for so long,
right?
It drives me. That doing my small part in this world to be a light, it's I don't know, it clicked, it snapped like a picture or a switch.
What helped you flip that switch?
Was that doctor, I think, when he asked me that. And I think as my seeing results in myself helped with that, but it's hard going back to when this first started. It was a fog, really.
Right.
I don't remember a lot of it. You know, I'd have to sit and think about that a little more, like where the positivity. It's all of those things that I said, but when it happened, because you're not the first person that's asked me that.
So from this addiction, did it ruin some things for you in a previous life?
My addiction and stuff.
Yeah.
Almost every relationship I've ever been in,
Okay.
I ruined.
Yeah.
All long term. But when you ask somebody because I'm insecure, who are you talking to? Who are you with? Why did you leave work and you didn't come right home? What are you wearing? What did you do? Blah, 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 blah. All of those things. I was that person because I was insecure. And I ruined those relationships. They ended up picking or being with somebody else or finding happiness elsewhere. Man, took me to all those places. The reason I sold drugs was power over people because I was insecure. The power that came with it, the using, getting messed up more than others. It was all to be accepted. Like that's what all of that stuff was really.
What pushed you to start the Positivity Foundation?
The booth actually was the first part of that.
Okay.
My positivity booth. So, it's been about 2.5 years now. I called the farmer. Well, let me even go back. So the lady that cuts my hair at Studio 7, Steph, another Steph. I have like 9 of them in my life.
Wow.
And they all spelled them different. The owner of B. Looney Gifts Party Store, Stephanie.
Really?
Lady cuts my hair, Stephanie. My significant other, Stephanie. They're like, and they all spell their names different. But I was in there getting my hair cut, and I was like, I want to set up a booth at the mall. And this was right when COVID was getting done. I was like, I want to set up a booth at the mall and spread positivity.
Yeah.
You know, walk around freestyling. And she's like, well, I don't know if you're going to get in the mall. Why don't you call the farmer's market?
Right.
So I called Maria from the farmer's market, and I said, hey, I want to spread smiles in the community, and this is how I thought of to do it. What better to spread smiles than a booth? Right. So I said, can I set up the booth with a wheel, free hugs, and a couple prizes? Yeah, I had a few prizes donated from local businesses, a few artists, and I started doing it. And people smiling with me and freestyling and couldn't believe I was giving them whatever trinket it was just because.
Just because.
And they're like, you don't sell anything? No, I deal in smiles. I believe people deserve to be happy, and I don't want to charge you for that. Right. That's why I've gotten a 501c3. That's why I'm learning to get donations. Right. Because I don't want to charge people for me to come speak for them, for me to bring my booth. I want to just do that, and it just compounded like the connection as it built.
Were you afraid of possibly failing with the positivity booth?
I never thought about failing. No? I still haven't.
See, I mean,
I don't see it. I believe what I'm doing, the world needs.
Right.
And pure by economics, supply and demand, one of our biggest problems in the world is mental health and addiction. So why not spread some smiles?
Do you believe you doing what you're doing can help solve a lot of issues in the community? I'm not saying like you'll be the therapist, but you just spreading the word. You're spreading the gospel, like just spreading stuff like that. It just shows that it doesn't matter who you are and where you came from. If you want change, you can change. Nothing changes and nothing changes.
I used to hate that when people said that in the AODA and stuff, but now I get it.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Nothing changes if you don't change. I get it.
What took me to change was her leaving. For me to become sober, she wasn't one of the main reasons. Because of her, I'm grateful. I'm not grateful that she left me, but I'm grateful that the opportunities that came with it. Because now I'm a year and 3 months sober. Like never before. Never before have I gone sober for more than a month. And it's sad to say, like I used to spend just Friday through Sunday. I would spend, I want to say 200 to almost $1,000. And I'm talking about just either drugs, alcohol, or stuff to party. And like meat alone costs a lot nowadays. So I was spending like $200 to $300 in just meat. And that's not even including anything else. So, and that's just in one day, like it gets crazy, like and it comes back to people pleasing, like I wasn't doing it for me. I was just doing it to please other people so they can spend time with me, like, and the whole time I should have been bettering myself so I could spend more time with my wife at the time, and it sucks, I still think back of what could have happened or what could be, but I got to live in the moment and just accept what I done. I made the bed, I gotta lay in it. What they say, you reap what you sow. Unfortunately, I definitely reaped what I sowed, but I'm thankful for still having a civil friendship with her now, like now we're just very mutual, we're very civil. But I'm just I'm grateful for being alive today. I never, I don't know who I'd be if I still be drinking right now the way I was. I was able to drink a whole bottle in 15 seconds, like literally down, crack that bottle open and start chugging, gone. You know, and I used to always like talk crap to people like, stop being a pussy, let's drink, let's take a shot, this and that, and like it's just one shot. Stop being a pussy. It's just one shot, and that one shot led to another. Those two shots led to five. Those five shots led to 10.
Led to empty pockets.
Empty pockets, and I was like, I swear I had a few hundred.
Cash my check.
I swear I just, yeah, my direct deposit just hit. Oh Lord Jesus, I didn't even remember to pay the bills. That I pay the rent. Oh my God. One thing I tend to work on myself to this day. Like I'm not perfect, but every day helps me to become a better man and a better partner, a better son, a better friend, whatever it is. I just don't want to repeat the same mistakes.
That's really something that I found is the best way to say thank you is to be the person they were trying to help you be.
Exactly. And to this day, I'm not where I want to be exactly. I still got my little flaws, and I mean, who doesn't? But like, I'm still trying to figure out what each flaw of mine was. So I'm not trying to fix them. I'm trying to work with them so I can be able to live with them. Because you can't fix all your flaws. No one's perfect. Even if you tried, things gonna go sideways.
Yep.
So that being said, I'm just grateful for the opportunities that came with the whole divorce, with us splitting. Um, it helped me bring a closer friendship with other people. People who really cared, whether it was before or after the marriage, they're still gonna be there. They say you don't know who your friends are until something bad happens. And yeah, like for the most of my people were gone. Like I can literally count on one hand how many people were by my side, checking up on me. I'm not saying like coming over this and that, but like at least messaging me, hey, you good? You straight? What you doing today? Stuff like that. Like just checking up on me, and they would respect it. At first, no one took my sobriety serious. Everybody thought I was joking. Why? I understand why they would think, because I used to always bullshit. Like, I'm gonna stop smoking, I'm gonna stop drinking, this and that. Ooh, ooh. A couple weeks pass. You see me on social media, not caring. And so no one really took it serious. So that day when, let's take it back to July 28th. I remember the exact night. So July 28th of 2023, I was with my friend. I was at my friend's house, and we are just drinking, doing some illegal drugs. And I remember it was like 2 in the morning. And I was like, this was after my wife left 30, so I was already just in destruction. Just I was drinking to hide the pain, this and that. And I remember like it was being like almost 3 in the morning. I was messed up on a whole another level, and my friend told me to stay, but I was like, no, I'm gonna go. And long story short, I got in my car, and when you get in your car, I'm not supporting drinking and driving, but when you get in your car, and if when you did drink, like you're just like, holy, everything just hits you. And I remember like, stay, just stay. And I remember I left out the parking lot and I got home. I don't know how I got home. You know, there was a scratch on my car at the time, and I don't know where it came from. Luckily, no cops came to my house. Luckily, there's nothing like that. I didn't kill someone, I didn't hurt someone, I didn't hit something. But it's the fact that it could have been worse. Like what if I did hit something? Did hit someone? Did hit a building? Like it could have been worse. Yep. And so when I got home, I don't know what I did when I got home. Then the next day, I, I still felt drunk. I still felt like I was still using, and I literally just cried. I broke down. I never broke down like that before. I broke down to my mom, because like a kid's mom is always your go-to person, no matter what year it is. And I remember just breaking down, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? Like, where's my money? Why am I living check to check just to stay happy, but with drinking, using drugs? Like, what is this doing for me? Like, am I building a life, or am I just having fun right now? And At the time, I was only 24, 25. It's like, what am I really doing? You know, like 25 is only 5 years short from 30. When I become 30, what am I going to tell myself? What have you done in the last 5 years? Nothing, because you were drinking. You were just too depressed. You're so stuck on what happened, and you just gave up. And that's when you talk about like not giving up, because like people always tell me like, I don't know how you did it, this and that. You know, like some people when they deal with divorce or a nasty breakup or just a nasty life event change. You know, a lot of people give up. They throw in the towel. You know, they don't know what to do. They quit their job. They do this. They do that. They relapse. They do whatever. You know, they lose themselves. And I always get asked like how I did it. I honestly just tell them physical activities, reading, just understanding yourself, actually talking to yourself. You know, people are like, oh, you're talking to yourself. That's kind of crazy.
Actually, wait a second. So, before we leave that subject, the
Okay.
talking to yourself thing. So, I went through some training last year.
Right.
And it is normal that people hear voices in their head and talk.
Right.
And function. And it's like a part of stuff now.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. Like, I had no idea that that's a thing.
Yeah. And yeah, because like I always tell people like I honestly talk in the mirror to myself. You know, like it helps. You know, like because if I'm laughing, I'm not taking myself serious. You know, so I look in the mirror with a serious look, and I just like.
Oh, I wasn't saying self-talks. I was just talking about they talk like have multiple voices.
To this day, I still have like those little voices telling me like, I'm like, you already are sober for a year. You're fine if you take a drink. You know, this and that. But it's like, what was the point of going sober for a whole year then? If you're just gonna go back to drinking. And people always tell me like, are you gonna go sober completely, like your whole life, or just a little phase? Right now, I have no plans on drinking again. I have no plans on using drugs again. You know, I don't care for it because what did it bring me? Nothing but.
I have way more fun now.
Yeah,
way more fun.
I tell people because they're like, "Are you even having fun with life?" Honestly, yes. Because now when I'm having fun, I'm having fun. There's no drugs involved. There's no alcohol involved. You know, like I'm having fun for myself.
People think I'm on drugs all the time. They call me a crackhead and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm sober.
Yeah, and people ask me if I'm on camp, if I drink coffee or anything like that, or because I drink energy drinks. I'm like, no, I don't drink none of that. You know, I'm like, when I
drink energy drinks, but
for me, I feel like I build my own caffeine in my body. You know, like doesn't matter how many hours I sleep in the day. I'm always, how we going? How we doing? You know, how's it going? Let's get it cracking. You know, like woo woo woo. And they're like, are you good? Like, yeah, are you? Like, why are you a zombie?
I've come to find out caffeine doesn't energize me. It makes me
mellow crash.
Yep.
Yep.
It makes me even. Otherwise, I'm too much.
But that's what exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, as what I was saying, we build our own caffeine in our system. You know, and it's a blessing. You know, like some people always like, I wish I had your energy.
You can.
And you can.
I tell them they can. I had somebody message me that before I came here. I wish I could.
Stop eating processed foods for one. Start taking your actual vitamins. Go outside.
Go be happy.
Go be happy. You know, like enjoy
That's all it
life.
takes is
enjoy
go
life.
Be happy.
Yes, exactly. People are always like, "Oh, I don't want to go on runs. I don't want to."
You don't have to.
You don't have to. People's like, "Oh,
Steph just lost 50 pounds in the last 3 months. She walks the dog 2 miles a day. That's it.
50.
She doesn't work out. And, well, she does kind of eat good because of me.
Right.
She doesn't even eat as many sweets as I do.
Right. I mean, exactly. I mean, like people always think they have to spend hours and hours day in and day out in the gym. You don't.
Find something that works for you.
Right.
That's a little bit more active than you are already doing.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be a lot.
Right.
Walking but you got to be consistent.
Right.
You got to do it.
People always like, "Oh, I didn't lose weight. It's only been 2 weeks." Well, it's only been 2 weeks. Like you don't see change until your 4th to 8th week.
Unless it's chocolate. I had the great chocolate scare of 2023 last year.
What's that?
So when I would get, I always go to the gym late or I DoorDash late, right?
Right.
So I would go to Quick Trip. My friends all work there, and I
Right.
stopped. They donate and all this. So I would buy 2 king-size candy bars every time I was in there, and that's 7 days a week, okay?
Hey, me too. I used to do the same.
So I ate 14 king-size candy bars a week. And you don't notice how many it is until you take a look at last week, and you ate them every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I put on 20 pounds. Yes, 20 pounds from eating those candy bars.
It just shows you, man.
I cut them out for a month, and I went right back off.
Right, and that's the thing. Like I always tell myself, like, what's one little Debbie snack? But nowadays, Trappy, go lay down.
Consistency works both ways.
Exactly. Nowadays, the government or whoever makes the snacks or the junk food there is on the stores now. Before, I don't know if you're like the little Debbie snacks. You know
Used
how
to be
back,
a quarter.
right?
Now
You know,
$2.
right? That too, exactly. You know, so before then, you know, they used to have like the fudge rounds stuff like that. They used to have regular size. Now everything's like double decker. This and that is like they're promoting obesity. Like they're like you're gonna spend the money regardless. You know you want the double decker. You know, so why not just do it? And we really think about it, and this is where the fat kid comes out of me. So why would you rather spend two something on one piece of a double decker when you can buy the whole box at Walmart for two something? Yes, they're smaller. They don't taste the same, but no, I'm not promoting to do that. You know, but like exactly, and it's like I always tell myself, it helps me to this day. You know, like I'm not saying I eat perfect because I don't, but there's days where I go to the store and I have to buy certain things. I'm like, I look in my cart and I see 3 boxes of Little Debbie snacks or whatever it is, and it's like, did I really need that? No. So I tell myself,
ice cream. I like ice cream.
See, I do too, but I just found out recently this year that I'm becoming lactose intolerant. In a way, only certain things. Yeah.
I am allergic to new things as I've gotten older. Like since I got sober and stuff,
right.
I'm allergic to something in Caesar salad. My throat swell up. Like random things. I've never been allergic to anything in my entire life. Right. But all of a sudden, I'm allergic to stuff.
As soon as you become sober and healthy, everything comes out. You know, it's hiding under the fat. That I always tell the doctors. Because you know, I actually had some heart issues back in February, and before then, I never had one issue with my heart or anything like that with my body. And then I was like, that February, I was like, this is when I really started my weight loss journey. Is the diseases hiding under all the fat or what? And I told my doctor, and he was like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, was the fat hiding all this or what? He was like, I mean, we're not going to put it in that terms, but it's just like, yeah, it's just like when they find new things in the ice age, it's because everything was frozen.
Yeah.
And once you thaw it out, they come out. And it's just like, same with us, you know. And it's just very crazy to think about. Do you have any future plans for the foundation?
Yes. Well, kind of my whole goal the entire time is I want to be able to help anytime, anywhere I see it.
Right.
Because I move around the community all the time. But I want, like, my whole goal with it is literally not for me to be at the top of it. I want other people to start doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Positivity booths popping up in other cities.
Right.
Other people spreading smiles. Because if you start to connect those dots, I know, see, since my journey has come on, I know when I'm supposed to be talking about something or meeting people.
Right.
I light up. It's weird. I never understood that before. But I want people to have a network of positivity people that are just working to make the world a better place and haven't forgot why they started it.
Right, right. Okay.
I run into that. Like people that have been doing what they're doing a long time forget why they started, get frustrated with the job that they love so much.
Right.
And I've been trying to figure out how can we remind, because those are the people that know the most.
Right.
The ones that have been doing it the longest. How do we ignite those fires again? Ooh, or kiss the mic. But and really, like it's to make the world a better place, whether it's mental health, fitness, because I want that sense of community to come back, like when I was a kid.
Right.
Like I could get in trouble across town. We didn't even have cell phones. I would be in trouble before I got home because they all talk.
Yeah.
Like all the parents. Oh, did you see Koke did this? Oh. So I was scared before I even got home. But to bring that community back, because I didn't realize how much we need each other.
Right.
Until I needed the world. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
I mean, I didn't realize it, and then also though, they need me.
Right.
And realizing that
we always need one another.
Yes. That we are all a part of something. No matter where we are, how lonely we feel, we're a part of a big puzzle. And that one woke up in me too, realizing that we're all a part of something. We're all amazing, and we're all a part of it. And that's I want to be the person, there it is right there. I want to be the person I needed my life was the darkest.
What would you tell 5 years ago, Koke? Like, because you said that's when you started your journey, right?
Yep.
So, that being your lowest point in your life, well, and now, what would you tell him right now?
No matter what we've done or been through, love yourself. You're worth it. You are worth it. And that's whether it doesn't have to be money. It's you are worth being in this world. And that is one of the hardest things that myself included and so many of us I've seen have struggled with. I have a thing, you spin the positivity wheel, and one of the things is say 3 things you love about yourself. Do you know how many people can do that? Not very many.
Yeah, it's hard.
The kids do it. They're usually recess, dolls, and video games. You know what I mean? But to say, I mean something in this world.
Right.
You know what I mean? I matter.
Right.
And being able to give ourselves credit, and that's really, that's it.
Right.
It's loving us. That's what changes it. Loving myself. It changed everything. The positivity, everything falls under that. Addiction, mental health, all of those things, because I have a positive mindset.
Right.
No matter what happens, if I break my arm, I can still be happy. I can still be healthy. Or, you know what I mean? Like realizing that I'm going to stumble and knowing it's okay. Because I do love myself. I give myself empathy. Right. I still struggle with that one sometimes.
Right. So, that being said, you do enjoy uplifting people?
Yes.
And
it's amazing.
What do you get out of it besides just a better feeling for yourself?
Well, these interactions also, people share knowledge with me. So not only do I get an amazing feeling, but I grow.
Okay.
I look at every interaction with a person, positive or negative, as an opportunity to help someone smile, but an opportunity for me to grow and look at things out of my perspective. Because having that openness to see through other people's eyes when they talk to me, to instead of being like, nah, that don't make sense, I'm like, wait a second, let me try and understand this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because in the past I'd have been like, that doesn't make sense, that's dumb.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just shoot people's dreams down like this.
Down,
and it's,
instantly.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's your family who do it, you know, and it's really unfortunate to say.
But that's where that credit for yourself
right.
comes from.
Like, I think, like, my family is always supportive of my hopes and dreams, you know. They might have opinions, but, I mean, who doesn't have opinions? Whether they're good or bad, they're always going to have opinions.
I do, too. I just don't tell people them if it's going to affect them negatively.
Exactly.
Because I need to think about it then.
Exactly. And some people look at those type of comments or opinion as... Some people will take it as constructive criticism, and some people will take it as bashing. And it's not what you say, it's just how you say it. And people don't know that. Are you the only positivity foundation in the area?
As far as I know, not just in the area.
Yeah? And just
there's nobody doing what I'm doing. This is brand
one
new.
Of a
Sheboygan,
kind.
this
One
positivity booth that I'm doing here,
yeah.
nobody's doing. Not one person is freestyling at it, is giving everything away for free, is an influencer, but also a 501c3.
Right. So you're a non-profit organization.
Yep. Right? I'll be and then the public speaker, Mr. Positivity, I'll have an LLC starting pretty soon for that as well, because I've had to separate them.
Really? What's that?
So the foundation is booking me as a speaker.
Right. That's
booking me as a speaker, and the foundation, it would be a donation. So that's where the lines were blurred, and that's why I'm focusing to get myself booked.
Right.
Well, like I said, the speaking to the teachers really
right.
ignited something in with me. But it's man, I've never been a business person, so I've been learning all of this stuff. Like any of the things that I'm doing started 4 years ago. Two and a half. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'm like I don't even know what I'm doing really, but I'm motivated to help people. So if I keep my motivation and my discipline focused on helping the world smile, being a better person, the rest of it will come together.
Right.
You know, and you brought up something earlier. I forgot to touch on it. So you were saying, you know, as you lost friends as you moved through your journey. So I have come to find something. So I see a lot of inspirational speakers say, trim the fat, or if they don't add substance to your life, or they don't do this. I don't think I ever have to cut anybody out. It happens organically. If I continue to elevate, I continue to work on myself, the people that aren't ready, they choose to not. I don't have to cut anybody
Right.
out, and I don't agree with saying that. Cutting weaker people, or cutting people that I don't think they're weaker. Hearing other people say that,
Right.
because we're all strong. I believe
Right.
in people.
They're not the same level as you are.
Yeah,
That's all.
all that is. Meeting them where they are. You know
Right.
what I mean? And as a teacher, I have to show everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pick and choose who I'm going to give positivity to, or share
Everybody.
my gift, or share my. It's not even my gifts. It's my life. This is who I am,
Right.
and I found a way to be happy, and other people look to it too. And that's what I was saying earlier. Having somebody tell you that their life is better because of you, like, dude,
That's the biggest.
I don't
message
even
once we
know
hear.
how to absorb that.
Right.
Like, knowing that there's multiple people now, and I'm lighting up again. There's multiple people that get up because of me.
And that's one thing, like, I always tell people, your simple words, your simple sentence could be the reason why someone else is alive today.
Yes,
You
it's
know, be
I've
kind
seen
to one
it.
another.
Yes.
Because, I mean, life's too short to be mean. Yeah, I get it. Some people are not approachable, you want to say. You know, like, people at work, for example, I'm known as that positive guy at work, you know, like, bro, relax. You know, it's like, hey, it's like, it's 7 in the
You
morning.
and I definitely can't hang out together.
Right. There was something like, it's not even 7 in the morning, because, like, I start at 7, so I'm there around like 6:30, 6:45.
Moonwalking, you
Yeah.
and moonwalking,
Yeah,
dancing.
and I'm like, I was like, hey, we don't need that. I was like, yes, you do. Like, that's why you're just not happy, because you're choosing not to be. I get it. You probably didn't get a good night rest, or your kids probably didn't let you sleep, but you're gonna miss those times when your kids didn't let you sleep. You know, like, I don't have kids myself, but let's say it's like for my dog. You know, like, people always like, oh, I can't do dogs, this and that, because they're just messy, this and that. Like, they shed, they're messy. Today, it was like, what's that? And I'm like,
You know what I think you should do? You should go into work, complete opposite, and then
oh, I do.
right after it's done, say, now, which one did you like better?
Mm-hmm. No, people always, no, there's days where, like, there's days that I do that on purpose, and there's days where I'm really just down, you know, and people notice. It was like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're always talking, you're always this and that. You're like, you're so uplifting to people. You're like, you make people's days. And are you okay? I'm like, just one of those days. But, like, and then right then and there changes my bad moment or my bad day to a good day.
Whether just someone noticing that you're off a little bit because they know you're happy.
Exactly. And so I love showing who I am, because when I'm not being me, people notice. And whether it's for the good, greater good, or bad, they're noticing. And they're like, let me ask him if he's okay. And that's one thing I do appreciate of everybody who does check up on me. I'm not asking for no one's pity. You know, like, that's the last thing I want to ask for. I don't want to ask for your gratitude, nothing like that. But just expect, if you want people to care for you, care for others. I'm not asking, like, oh, he doesn't care for me, I'm not gonna care for him. No, because just because one person did you wrong, that does not mean I'm gonna do everybody else wrong. You know, like, I am me because I am me. You know, so because one person did me wrong, I'm gonna still continue to help the rest, because he did me wrong. They didn't do me wrong. They had nothing to do with it. So why should they get the treatment? You know, and people always do that. Oh, they didn't do that for me, so why should I do that? Or they didn't reach out to me, so why should I reach out?
There's that change thing again. It only changes if you change it.
Exactly.
You want to see it change? Do it.
Right. And that's I always tell people, I don't like putting the blame on the next person. Just take it. Even if it's not your blame, you're the solution. You know, like,
how can we fix it?
Exactly. You know, like, are you gonna be the problem solver, or are you gonna be the problem?
Stopping negativity. Like, I was the stuff online. That guy was bored that posted.
Right.
Part of stopping it is not saying anything. Like, when I come across posts that I don't agree with, I just keep scrolling. I don't have to say anything, because you know how many. I know for me, sometimes when I put my video up, I'm like so excited.
Right.
And then the first person that sees it, like, dude, this is ridiculous, or just guns it. I know how that felt. Why would I do that to somebody else?
Right.
I see what they just put up there. They're singing or whatever it is they think is hilarious. Let them have their hilarious.
Exactly.
I don't have to say anything.
What makes each day different for you?
Me, like what I go do, I guess. I find new ways to make it different.
In what ways?
To
Like,
have fun.
what are some examples?
Well, the different videos I do every day, I have different routines. Like Tuesdays is Takis.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And finding new ways to have fun. My significant other's better at that than me. She always finds little cool niche things.
Okay.
But I look for difference. I look for more. Like I'm a routine person. Don't get me wrong. Like with my working out and my eating. But when it comes to enjoying life, I'm open to it anywhere.
Right.
Like I didn't plan on doing the video I did this morning at Walgreens. I folded my Walgreens bag into a big satellite phone
Right.
and just went at it. It's I don't know. I look for happy, just fun.
So you don't plan your videos. You just to get the idea. I'm like, I gotta stop what I'm doing. Camera, lights, camera, action. So I always try to stay ahead of myself with that. But I like to take things head on. I don't want to know what could be the outcome. I just want to do it. You know, like that includes with running. You know, when I first started running, I'm like, damn, I'm slow. Like I got 10 to 12 minute miles. You know, like always like beat myself down. But then I always like look up statistics, and it's like it only shows what certain percentage of the world is actually doing, and it shows.
How many people can even finish a mile? Think about that.
Exactly.
You can do a 10-minute mile. How many people can't even run? I don't even know if I can run a mile, and I'm in okay shape.
And we all could, you know, like, and it takes time, you know, like, I mean, if we do a mile right now, just, even if you walk the whole mile, you still did it, you know, like it only gets better if you keep staying committed. When it came to my first 5K race, I didn't know what to do, what to expect. I never practiced before that, you know, like I always ran, but I always stopped here and there, you know, like it's always different when you run outside in the treadmill than running in a race, you know. I don't know if you've ever been in a race, but like, so one person can be intimidated because, like, for one, I feel fast. I can be the Flash, you know. I'm Speedy Gonzalez, you know. Before, you know, you're picking up your packets and your bib number and all that, and you start seeing everybody. I'm like, shoot, it's about to go down, and I'm like, all right, well, I only seen, because in the races, everything's based on like age group and gender and all that. So I'm like, all right, well, this guy, it looks like he's in the mid-20s, so he's in my age group, and I only seen him, so I should be fine. Then the day of the race, it's like, holy crap, I thought I was fast, and I see all these guys wearing the Viper sunglasses. they're wearing all this and that. They're wearing short shorts. They're the hoochie daddy shorts, you know, like a spit shirt.
Do you wear those?
Hoochie daddy shorts? No.
I don't. We need to go talk to our friend Anthony.
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk. I love that dude, but I'm gonna go talk to him because he rocks them.
You're like, I have some, but like the ones that I have, they have those compression shorts built into them. Oh. So for me, they're not really hoochie daddies because like they go up to, like right above my kneecap. Compression. Yeah.
I never tried them. I didn't know if you could move. Like, are they better for running?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I like in the middle. I don't like them too long.
No, and yeah, the ones I get, like, they're like right above the knee. You know, like they're perfect. You know, like especially when you sit down, they're not like, holy crap, cover your skin. You know, it's not like that. But I do like them better than just wearing your briefs or whatever under your shorts, just because like it's a different type of feeling. You know?
We might have to try them out. See what's going on here.
Koke's gonna do a 5K race with me soon. Stay tuned for that.
Wait, how many miles is that?
So a 5K is only 3.1. I'm not saying it's only, you know, like it's, you know, that's basically, if you really think about it, it's 10 minute miles. So that's 30 minutes. So
if I can run 10-minute miles.
So if you can't, then let's say it's 45.
Let's say like 52.
You know, but like that being said, at least you know, like, oh, I can't do that in 30 minutes, but I can do it under.
I would just come do it
under an hour. You know, so your goal is, all right, well, if I can't do it in under 30 minutes or 30 minutes, don't let yourself get past an hour. Tell people, like, right now I'm actually in current talks into possibly setting up my own run walk. Because, I mean, that's one thing me and you can do, you know, like being so positive, you know, like, cause, you know, when I when I decided that I wanted to possibly start a race or start a run walk, it's something that I would rather give all the proceedings to safe harbor, stuff like that.
I just gave pizzas to them the
You
other day.
know, stuff like that. Because like for one, me and my family, uh, we were put in safe harbor at one point in our lives, and it shows that just because we're put there or we're there does not mean that was our whole life. You know, that was only a chapter in our life.
I was at Salvation Army here
You
in
know,
Sheboygan, actually. I was homeless for a while.
you know. So it just because you steep to your lowest point in your life doesn't mean you can't get back up. You know, the ground is only the lowest you can go.
And that wasn't even my lowest point either when I was homeless. That wasn't my lowest point.
You know,
That was the outset. That was finances. That wasn't my life. So, but yeah,
does spending time with your partner and your dog help you in any way?
Steph's my rock. Like she keeps me grounded. I call her my post-it note.
Why's that?
Anything I forget, she knows. Or, yeah, she's got my back. And Stella, like all that. I'm getting emotional talking about it because you probably know doing what we do, when you're as positive as you are and you give yourself to the community like you do, it takes a lot. And being able to recharge those batteries, but also find balance when I go home and still be positive at home with them. And that's what they teach me. They teach me to have balance, to when I come home, they show me like if I'm negative or I'm not. Steph talks to me. She tells me like, hey, and it sticks.
Right.
And they're my ground.
See, and that's the thing. Like for me, every time I got told I had a problem, or not even I had a problem, they're just trying to help me out from my problem, I would take it as them bashing me, them belittling me. Like they were just.
Wait, do you know Steph's in recovery too?
No.
Yeah, my significant other's in recovery also.
Really?
Yeah, she went in about a year after me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
see, like it's even helping. Like it helps you in a way as well, just because it's like it's not just you doing it. So it's like you're supporting one another, and that's really should push ones forward.
Well, she one of the big things they teach in recovery is that if you're using together, 9 times out of 10 your relationship's not going to work. And I already got married in one of those relationships a long time ago, and it didn't work.
Right.
And I was very scared of that, almost to the point. And there's that scare thing I was talking about, relapse, almost to the point where I almost sabotaged our relationship because of it. Like started making myself separate because of it was instilled. Like all of the AODA I ever went through, they hammer that into your head. Don't. If you do, you're gonna. And it was tough. Like going into that relationship, but I got lucky and was able to check myself.
Right.
And I didn't ask Steph to go in recovery. She did that.
Wanted to.
Yep. But when she went into recovery, that's when she was introduced to Mr. Anxiety. She never had it before, and we both worked. I helped her. I was in the place finally, and I helped her with hers. And now she's a budding influencer, which I'm a little upset by getting hundreds of views. Like right when you start, when I worked months to break 100. Do you remember the 500, the real bonuses?
Yes. When
you first started? Do you know how hard it was at first to get 100 views on 5 videos? And Steph's popping 500 on them and stuff.
Like nothing. It just shows, like and it comes with when you said about script, like when you're doing it just pure, it attracts more. And I just had this conversation with my sister today. I was telling her, I was like, this post is a short video I just posted. Like I just literally just clicked on it and posted it.
Got tons of views.
Tons of views.
I already know how that works.
And then certain interview, I'm like, what the heck? But
I swear I put more work into videos, less people watch them.
Right.
I have a video of my nephew. This is an old one. It's like 400,000 views or something. He walks out with the lighter, lights the grill, it lights, and he goes, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. The most views, not anymore, but the most views initially that I had on any of my videos.
See, and that's crazy.
And then I put work in and make like a whole storyline and all this cool stuff.
And nothing.
Nobody watches.
But that's okay. That does not mean we're going to stop posting those videos. And we're going to keep doing it.
There's no quit here.
There's no quit at all. There's no quit in no heart. Cause
I think you and I should collaborate more on positivity stuff. I think that we would have some fun.
Oh, most definitely.
running around doing
This is
stuff.
the first of many.
Yep, I believe that. I know that we're supposed to talk to. I can feel it when I walk.
I mean, if you think about it, no one comes into your life on accident.
Nope.
You know, whether it's for small talk, exactly. You know, whether it's for small
This guy's
talk
like, he's
or
just cold.
no, not yet. But if you could just like go to one another and just like, wow, like this is pure. Why not interact with each other? You know. But that helped me in the long run. Just because they're not talkative or they don't feel like they're approachable, it does not mean you shouldn't approach
I'm glad you brought that back up. See, the universe, thank you. So you were talking about approachable people.
Mhm.
I approach them on purpose now.
Right.
The unapproachable. And I was on, actually, when I flew to California with my significant other for my, somebody in the community donated our tickets to go there.
Okay.
I sat beside a gentleman and he was probably like 6'5". Businessy, looked like you don't talk to that person.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I do?
Go talk to
I
that
sit right
person.
beside him. Oh, yeah. I just did my whole thing, and he goes, "Koke, is that how you say your name?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I don't usually ever talk to anybody, and they don't usually talk to me." He goes, "But you did."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because you're a person too, and I wanted you to smile."
Right.
So I said,
That's
"Hello,"
simple.
and it ended up this person travels all the time. His wife's a surgeon.
Oh, okay.
And he is a fiber optics programmer for one of the biggest technology companies in the world. And we started talking and telling me things. Like one of the key information he gave to me, he said, if you, as a small foundation,
Mm-hmm.
you walk up to a big business, we'll say T-Mobile or whoever,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, do you want to donate $1,000? They won't bat their eye at you
Mm-hmm.
because their bosses told them they need $500,000 to donate. So had I walked up and said, may I have $50,000 for positive mental health, they would have looked into it because it offsets their business.
Smart tactic.
I didn't know that.
Me
I
either,
had
so
no
now.
idea, but it makes sense.
Right.
Because these big businesses, they have to donate certain amounts of money.
Right.
Their bosses tell them they have to because, so somebody gives me $500 here, it offsets their taxes $2,000. Imagine if you donate $50,000 and you're making millions.
Right.
How many times you do that a year? Because they all have, and I learned this with Kodiak Cakes when they were my sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
They have allotted funds
right.
for donating that year.
Yeah.
And if you get to the end of the year and you haven't gotten into them, you're not going to get any funding. So but these businesses, they have that. And that's why I've been learning this stuff, not so I can be rich, so
right.
that I can help more people.
Right.
Because once I connect those dots,
mm-hmm.
what's going to happen is, and one of my goals is, you ask me my goal is, I want happy and money here.
Right.
Because what happens is, so if money's up here, happy doesn't become important. But if happy's what's important, if I have a bunch of money, I want you to be happy too. Right. So I'm going to help you.
Right.
And that money becomes irrelevant because the happiness is above it.
Right.
Yeah, I got a ton of it, but don't you need some too? I care about your smile. It's just, I don't know. It's the way I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to think. You know, some people are just, I don't know, I'm here. You know?
Can't do it.
So I love the colorfulness, you know, like, what's the reason behind it? Because you have the colorful hair, colorful nails. Do you have your socks today?
Yep.
Show them your socks real quick to the camera real quick, if you can. Ooh! You see that.
Different ones, and Big B Coffee sponsors the nails to say positivity.
Okay.
All the time.
So what's the reason behind it?
So initially, actually, and I'll take you to the story where it started. So Stephanie got a gift card for VIP Nails to go get her nails done.
Really?
And it was enough for 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked me to get my nails and my toes done. And I was like, absolutely not. This was before I started my journey. I was like, oh, no. So she finally talked me into it. Mm-hmm. And when we finally went, I was in my journey.
Right.
And so when we walked out of that place, I was so uncomfortable.
Afterwards?
Yes, because I thought everybody was staring at me. My nails are done.
Right.
But I had made a decision when I started my journey that if it makes me anxious and doesn't hurt anybody else or myself, I will do it.
Right.
What better way to get over something that makes me anxious than if it's stuck to me?
That's true.
And that's where it started. My nails, my socks, my hair initially used to make me uncomfortable. And now they're a part of me. I have people, how many people say hi to me or compliment my nails and socks and stuff? A lot.
Because it makes you different.
Yes.
And I feel like when you're different, it makes you even more approachable. Because, like,
This guy don't care.
yeah, it's like, well, because like, people ask me, I was like, oh, like, you're doing your podcast? Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm just like, I mean, I'm me. I was like, yeah, you are. Oh, yeah, you are. You're Don Vic. Like, it shows, like, when.
I want to ask you something. I'm not on. This is your
Okay,
show, but I
okay.
want to know this. Have you gotten used to people acting funny around you because they think that you're famous?
I have two people, actually. So one person always tells me, was like, how do you do it, this and that? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, don't people just ask you like questions, this and that? Like they don't stop you in person? No, like I mean, yes, they do stop me, but it's not really about what you think. It's just like they ask me, oh, what got you here? Like why do you do this? Well, for one, I like talking. I love it. I could talk your ear off. You would tell me like, hey, I'm like, why? Why? I'm like, it's not. I'm not disturbing the peace, am I? And it helps me become happier. Like for me to become happy, I have to be happy within myself. And when I'm happy within myself, that's when I'm like, all right, well, I can help others. And it's not about helping physically, it's just about being there. Like some people don't even want to talk to you. They just want an ear. Exactly. And people is like, oh, I need someone to talk to. But what they really mean is they want someone to vent to. And people is like, don't understand that. So when a person wants to vent to you, they want to just have an ear. Don't say nothing back. Don't say nothing.
No judgment.
If they ask you, so be it. But till then, don't say nothing. Because like that makes them like, oh, they're just gonna keep telling me stuff. I'm not gonna tell them any more stuff. But
you know how many people are walking around that just want you to acknowledge them too?
Exactly.
Say hello.
Because I just started making shirts, and people was like, for what?
Wait, you make them here?
No. So I have a close friend that makes them for me. Um, they're great quality. It just basically just promotes who I am. Because people was like, your name's not Don. I was like, I know. And they're like, well, what's the reason? And I was like, because one person actually asked me, was like, is your name Donald? I was like, what?
Like the Don, right?
Yeah. Okay. And I was like, no, my name is Victor. I was like, so why do you go by Don? Don Vic. Well, a couple of years ago, I want to say this was between high school and up until like graduation, I used to go by Big Vic, because I was bigger. I was like 300 pounds, and I was drinking, like Big Vic's in the house, like everybody was like, oh, it's Big Vic, it's Big Vic. I was more popular when people used to like call me Big Vic, but that's besides the point. So once I graduated high school, I tell myself like that's the person that was lost. That person was into psychedelics, into hardcore drugs, into alcohol. Was just trying to find out what was the next party, where was the next call, like just to have the reason to get messed up. So one day I'm just like, Don. Like, so like in Mexican culture, we call older parents el don or la doña.
Like the Don of the mafia
Yeah, stuff like that. And people ask me, like, what do you call yourself, Don? I was like, well, if you really look at it, a Don takes care of his business, takes care of his family, takes care of his community, takes care of themselves. And that's one thing I do. I'm not saying I give back to community, like, money and this and that, but, like, whatever I can do, I'll give back. There's a time where I used to, me and my ex-wife, we used to sell food, you know, and there's times where we would donate food to the Salvation Army before they actually stopped taking donations. We'll donate food, we'll donate clothes, stuff like that, and it just helped me, like become me, and it's like this is me, like I'm meant to be giving back to the community, just being there for someone, like we said before, it's just you never know what someone needs, whether it's just a shoulder to lean on, a voice to be heard, stuff like that. So that being said, once I just told myself, Don, like that's me. So once that clicked, people started calling me Don, and just I love it. You know, I'm Don Vic, and it shows that just because you think it's positive and someone else doesn't mean you have to stop. If you love it, go for it. Shoot for the sky. You know.
Why not? If you're gonna shoot for the sky.
Exactly. What impact do you have in the community that you think that you do, or even if you think?
Actually, it's bigger than I even thought. I smile with people, but like I was telling you, people come up to me all the time and tell me thank you or hug me. People come up to me and tell me they love me,
Right.
Men and women, and that in itself is an amazing thing. That
Mhm.
somebody like I was at the wrestling thing by Freak Toys
Okay.
over the summer, and a gentleman and his brother. He walked up to me and goes, "I wanted to tell you I love you and everything you do, and I wanted my brother to be here to meet you too because he needs it too."
Right.
And I don't know how big of an impact I do here, but I can guarantee you every day for the last almost 4 years, I've helped at least one person smile in this community every day. And that number is very minimal to what I actually
Right.
do. And then I believe that I changed the mood of this entire city a lot.
Right.
Whether it's one person or it's 20 people. But I didn't know that. These are words coming from other people. These
Right.
aren't me speaking.
Right.
It's very hard for me to talk about myself. Like
Mhm.
I always try to make sure I'm not conceited. I focus on that a lot
Right.
because this is gratitude, not conceited. Like I am happy to be here.
Mhm.
Like you having me on this show, this is amazing. I never did it before.
Right.
But I am genuinely happy to be here in life. And that's the impact I'm putting in the community and in the world is a smile. I know that. That's why I call my foundation the Smile Biz, because that's where it is. And there's people that are sober because of me, because they've told me.
Right.
There's people in recovery in this town because of me. There's people in this town that are willing to wake up tomorrow because of my video today.
Right.
So, as far as mental health, addiction, promoting positivity in this community, mental, physical, people that struggle with addiction, all of that, I promote smiles anywhere I am, whether it's Sheboygan, and I'm working to do it on a bigger scale, but I know that for a fact here I have made an impact.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any plans for Halloween? Like I seen that you guys are involved somewhat with the Dominion Terror.
Oh yeah, we do the kids matinee every year.
What's that?
That's the children's trunk or treat they do right there. They have the haunted house set up for kids.
Right.
They have little stations with the candy, and then it switches over in the evening. But I do have tickets for this weekend. They give me for doing that.
There
So
you go.
Steph and I will probably go. We were thinking about maybe being peanut butter and jelly.
And still gonna be the bread or the loaf of
Might
bread.
as well, yeah. But yeah,
Just
we'll
put her in
probably
a Wonder Bread costume.
yes. But no, that's what I'm also doing is working to get this going so I can be at more events.
Okay.
And I think by collaborating with other people, we might be able to do that because it's really getting the word out. And you're
Right.
on a positive mission too. They put all of us positivity warriors in one place. Eventually, the puzzle's going to
crazy.
get bigger.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
So like, you're an MC as well, right? What made you become an MC?
didn't everybody want to have big gold chains and have tons of money?
Right.
Initially,
MC
that's
Hammer.
it. I grew up in Memphis, right
Okay.
out in that. I used to watch I grew up on hip hop. Well,
Right.
everybody was listening to Metallica. I was listening to both actually,
Right.
and country because I grew up in Tennessee. But I don't know. I've always been good with words. I didn't realize what my gift was for though.
Right.
I used to write poetry in school, but then people made fun of me, so I quit. I was in band first, but the football coaches took me to football because I was bigger than everybody else. But I think that creative spark was there always. I used to rap. I was a drum and bass MC with DJs for a long time at raves and stuff, really just getting intoxicated and trying to rap is what that was. But now I cultivate my skills. I can sing freestyle, I can rap freestyle, and all PG. I don't cuss when I rap either. Every once in a while I'll slip out and people try to record that and catch me doing it. But it's a connection to people.
Right.
I freestyle for people and they cry right in front of me because they connect and it blows me away and it inspires me to be better at it.
So that answered my next questions in a way. So is that the main reason why you freestyle for people?
Yes.
Okay.
To connect with them, to brighten their day a little bit and help them feel a part of it.
Right.
Yep.
Is there anything you would like to say to the people listening?
Well, I try to tell everybody this every day, that y'all are enough. You are amazing. Believe it. Because once you do, everybody else will. That's guaranteed. And that's facts. You love yourself, other people will too. And they
Okay.
can genuinely love, well, for me, they could genuinely love me because it's real.
Right.
That connection's real. It's not false. I talk about energy all the time. I can feel when people are upset. I can feel when people are intoxicated too, because
You're able to read people.
yeah.
Okay.
And I actually took 2 years of psych because I started to be a psychologist because I wanted to know what people made people tick, but I didn't know why I wanted to know what people made people tick,
Right.
and now I do because I want to know how to help them smile, how to help them get out of
Their head.
yeah, because I had to break out of mine, and now I want to. It's breakout. I'm trying to pull everybody out too. Let's go. Get healthy. Find yourself. Find your smile.
Right. Right. Is there a freestyle you like to show the world?
Oh, absolutely. So most of the time when I rap, people don't know when I start. But when they leave, there's a little bit of me gone, and they got a positivity spark. I pointed to the water to put in my rhyme. I do it all the time. I help people to be kind. But rapping's a skill I cultivate each day. You ask me why I do it, to see smiles on their face. I rap and I get it. On top it says green. Make it keep going. It's better as a team. 8 ball on the table, blue on the mic. Let me get the flow and I can do this all night. But I can also sing and I can melody. My voice is kind of scratchy, but I still spit poetry. So Don Vic had me on the show when we were talking. I get the flow and off top, no write down, no chalked in. Because we're all in this together, what I would want to say, I already said it once, you're an amazing person each and every day. But these raps, the connection, it's really why I do it. Because I want all of you, including you, Vic, to smile and get through it.
Wow, that was a good one. Are we gonna be seeing more of Koke, the MC Koke, the Mr. Positivity, in the next couple, in the near future? Besides what you got going on right now.
Yes, I am working on public speaking. I would love to do my music more, to get out on a bigger platform, to
Right.
freestyle, to sing, to do those things. So stay tuned. I am very hungry to help the world.
Could you explain to the ones who don't know, even myself, what's a five what?
So a 501c3 nonprofit, that is a foundation that it's all not like donations come in, it's not taxable.
Okay.
So basically when big businesses donate to me, they can write it off on their
Oh,
taxes. And
okay.
that's a big draw
Right.
to big businesses.
Right, because it helps them in the long
Yes. And by having that with me, it helps me to raise money for other people. But yeah, the 501c3 is a federal tax exemption, is what it
Okay.
is. So the IRS sent me a letter, says I'm federally tax exempt, but there's more to that, y'all. Anybody forming a 501c3, there are multiple steps. You also, in Wisconsin, got to get a CES number, and then you got to get a 211, and just keep, not 211 like naughty, 211 like an application.
run. A lot of numbers.
But yes, there's a, it's all federal stuff to solidify you as a foundation and stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay. That's all we got for today. I hope you all have a great day and a great weekend. We have Don Vic,
Mr. Positivity.
and y'all have a great day. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Don Vic out.